Discord and the Ponyville players Drama-Rama. So it's about Discord in Ponyville as a part of the spring musical. And all of the wackiness that ensues with that, and him trying to learn how to be a friend, because he's still trying to learn that. So there's a lot of puns in it, as usual. You know my work. A lot of horse puns, a lot of musical acting humor. So check it out. For this panel, I don't really know. It's going to be a little formless, I guess, just Q&A or whatever you guys want to talk about.
I'm putting toast to GM Berrow.
Yeah,
GM Berrow is an author and is awesome. And so we'll pass around some of these things for questions once we get pens in here. And then, I can also walk around with a microphone and people just kind of ask questions. You know, whatever you want to do, I think these people will be entertained.
Yeah, do you guys want a little background on who I am or the books or anything? I don't know how many people came to the panel yesterday, so I don't want to repeat too much.
Who here does not know who this is? Okay, I see a couple of hands.
Okay.
So who are you?
I'll introduce myself again. My name is Jillian, but I go by GM Berrow on these books. And I'm the author of all the original chapter books. I did one of the Equestria Girls books, this one, Through the Mirror, which was basically the first movie, but adapted to a book. But then I took that series off to do these awesome Daring Do books, and I think they're my favorite thing I've done, because they're true to the show. They're basically just like the books that Rainbow Dash reads. If you haven't seen them, they've got beautiful artwork, lots of fun adventures throughout Equestria. I started out writing for the series because I was a ghostwriter for a bunch of other series, some of which I won't mention because it's really embarrassing. And then my editor from a different series that I worked on asked me if I would be interested in working on My Little Pony. And obviously, what do you say to that? Yes. Because I was a huge fan when I was a kid, so I had no idea that Pony was a new generation when I agreed to it, but I watched the entire series multiple times and was so pumped to do it. Let's see, what else? Sorry. It's kind of weird to be up here by yourself. I feel a little bit Fluttershy right now. If there's any questions to get started, I think there's one over there.
Let me grab a mic. I'll start.
There's like a whole row of ponies back there. Make me feel a little better.
So what kind of care do you have to take with these characters to make sure that you're not breaking out of character or canon or anything like that? Do you have someone who helps you go over what characters are saying or how they're doing to make sure that they still feel like the same characters that people would expect from the show?
Nobody helps me go over that because that's my job to do it. So I take extreme care with that, and I think it's important for all the characters to feel like they do on the show. Going into it, I always had the goal to make these books like basically mini episodes of the show in prose form, even though they're separate stories. I want them to fit into the show as seamlessly as possible. So I like to have the characters reference things that have happened in episodes, reference future episodes, using phrases that they like to say throughout many episodes, like Pinky's best blah 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 ever, So I really, it's important to me that all the characters act just as they do on the show. And I think by now my editors know that I know it like the back of my hand. I know all of them. I've seen every episode lots of times, so I definitely got it down, I think. At least that's my goal. I don't know. That's for you to decide, I guess. But any other questions? Up here, this one, this Pinkie Pie.
If you're allowed to tell, or if you know, are any of these books like canon?
Well, it's kind of it's hard to declare something officially canon, but the way that Megan has explained it to everyone is that you can accept it as canon until something in the show contradicts it. So it's meant to go along with it as canon. And like I said, I drop things in that are from the scripts, from future scripts. So, for example, in the Pinkie Pie book, this one, I mentioned very slyly that she had a third sister. And that was a long time before the episode with Maud Pie ever aired. And, you know, a lot of people were annoyed about that because they thought, you can't invent a third sister for Pinkie Pie. That's outrageous. Oatmeal, are you crazy? Yeah. So I just, you know, that's canon because she does exist, and I just put it in there. And also, let's see another one. The Twilight Sparkle book has a backstory for Princess Cadence that I worked on with Megan. So we had decided that's what the backstory was. So that's canon. So there's little pieces throughout each of them that are, for sure, but it's kind of a there until the show proves it otherwise kind of thing. Oh, wow, you guys wrote a lot of questions.
Yeah. Do you ever accidentally mention hands or otherwise struggle to remain equine?
That's a good question. And sometimes I do accidentally do it, but it's always caught in copy editing. And actually by now I'm pretty good at it. So good that in my real life I say hooves and stuff like that. It's really embarrassing. Or any pony and every pony, and all my friends think I'm nuts, but you know. But in the Equestria Girls book was very strange because we were supposed to describe hands, but from the view of Twilight Sparkle, who is a pony and doesn't know what hands are, so that was odd. It was an odd change from going from completely pony stuff to ponies as humans. And
Anyone here that's, did any writers inspire you to write, being either children's book or MLP episodes? Inspire you?
yeah, I mean, I love to read, so every author that I read, I try to emulate them, you know. Obviously, J.K. Rowling, who I mention all the time, and who is like the queen of children's book authors. I love Roald Dahl. Matilda was big for me when I was a kid. What else? I like the Golden Compass series. It's got good fantasy elements in there. I love almost everything, actually. I'm one of those people. But in terms of the writers for TV, the other MLP writers, they definitely inspire me. I mean, how great are they? When I watched seasons 1 and 2, I was blown away by how funny everything was and fresh and heartfelt. And how could you not look at that if you want to be a writer and think, I want to capture that same feeling and get it right and get the same tone. And, you know, those guys are they're experts now, and they've obviously had longer career than me. So it's kind of fun to learn from them. And I like to liken it to being like Twilight and Celestia. Like sometimes I look at Megan or Lauren or any of those guys and I feel like I'm Twilight, like trying to learn how to do what they're doing. And they're really good and they have great tips, and it's just awesome to be able to have people to talk to and mentors like that. And I hope I can get to their level.
I got one. What is your favorite book not written by you?
Favorite book? That's like picking a favorite star in the sky. I don't know. I have to think about that. You'd think I have a ready answer, but it changes all the time.
That's fair. And I'll put the microphone up there now. How did you come up with all the horse puns? Is there like a Hasbro guide to horse puns?
I wish. I should make that, actually.
Hasbro guide.
Well, I love puns anyway, so the fact that I get to do that as part of my job is really cool. Usually when I want to come up with a horse pun, I think of the thing I want to say or the place I want to tease, first, and then I go to all my horse words. I do have a list of horse words, and I try to match something up and see if it works that way. And then if it doesn't and nothing fits, I'll change the name or the place so that something does fit. So sometimes it doesn't really work, but when you get a good one, it's really good.
That's what you're famous for, is all the horse puns. Let's see here. How much stress is involved in trying to make a living as a freelance writer?
Not gonna lie, it's pretty stressful. Freelance work of any sort it's a double-edged sword because you get lots of time for other things, but you're constantly living on the edge, when am I gonna get paid? Am I gonna get another contract? Should I be getting a job at Dairy Queen right now? But that being said, I also feel really lucky. It's pretty cool to be able to spend your days doing something you care about so much. And I don't know how long I will be freelance, but for now, I'm cool with it. And I also I'm doing a summer job as a day camp counselor for a cool camp for girls called Curious Dream. And I'm teaching a robotics course, so that's different. But, being a freelancer allows you to do other things too like that, and that's pretty cool. Also, I get to hang out with my dog a lot, and I love my dog. There's a question over there.
Oh, got a question over there.
So for someone who's interested in going into freelance writing themselves, what's the best way to go about it? Are there particular publishers, or is there a specific route to go through that?
He's asking what's the best route to go if you want to be a freelance writer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of writing out there that you can do freelance that isn't specifically books to start. And I think it's good to start with something else so you have some smaller professional jobs under your belt. I worked for a while as a copywriter. I worked for a website called Living Social. You guys heard of that? It's like Groupon. And actually, my job there involved a lot of puns too. I had to take a deal of the day, and this was not that fun, but it was good practice for getting things done fast and getting things done for an editor. So I had to take the deal of the day, which was like, a deal for haircuts or, a coupon for some class, and then you have to make it an interesting paragraph to sell that thing. So I did that for a long time, and you're supposed to choose a theme. And it got me on my feet and turning stuff in. And it paid very poorly, but I think all that experience really contributes and kind of sets you on a path to something. Because a lot of places will want to see if you've had professional writing experience. And another good thing to do is start a blog for something you like, just so you have samples to show. And then you could probably parlay it into books. It's all very mysterious to me as well. Everyone always asks me about publishing books, and I only know the way I got in, which may not be the right way for you or for someone else or have the same success. So I don't.
Well, what about after you built up that small workplace?
What's that?
What about after you built up that small workplace? Maybe you worked on a blog and you kept time with that for a year or so. You already have writing experience if you want to start looking for the way out. So
that you've built your repertoire, how do you take that step into writing books?
Well, I would just look online. A lot of people post personal ads for wanting ghostwriters and things like that. I'm working on a project. I need a co-writer. I need a ghostwriter. There's tons of it out there, even on Craigslist, that they pay, maybe not as much, but anything to get you there. I mean, there's definitely a lot out there. People are always in need of great writers.
What was it like to explore Princess Celestia as a character?
That was really cool, actually. It was a little tricky at first. This is what they're talking about. This is Princess Celestia's book. In this book, she goes to another country, and she helps out a friend's magic school. They're having troubles there, and so she helps out by kind of acting as this guest teacher. And it was really nice to explore that teacher role that she has, because we don't see much of it other than with Twilight and through letters and all of that. But there's this whole other side to her, because she's got her unicorn school. So I like to draw on that and create some new little younger Billy and Colt's characters that are hungry to learn some spells, and it was nice to develop more of that teacher lore with her, and just have her say more things. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
I got one from me. When you're writing the characters, do you hear their voices in your head when you write them?
Yes, and sometimes I even do the voices out loud. I like to read my books out loud while I'm at home writing them, just to make sure they sound okay. Because I know a lot of the people buying these books are reading bedtime stories with their kids, and kids are reading them for the first time. So I want to make sure that it sounds pretty good when you read it out loud, and that, parents can do the voices. So if you're reading one of these with your kid, you gotta know how to do a Pinkie Pie voice. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad didn't do the voices. I'd be like poking him, do it, So I hear all of them in my head. There's a question out there.
Oh, there's a question out there. What's your question out there?
I was curious, how did you get started in ghostwriting? And do you prefer ghostwriting to actually writing your own book? Would you like to write your own book? Maybe I guess would be a follow-up question.
I would love to write my own series. I actually am working on something that has nothing to do with ponies, and hopefully I can finish it soon and then be M.A. Larson and be like, buy it. But we'll see. Ghostwriting is an interesting thing because it's great practice for writing something that's going to be published, so you have that pressure of that, which is good actually, because it forces you to finish things, it forces you to pay attention, to deliver a good product. But that being said, also, no one will know that you wrote it. So if you mess anything up, I don't recommend messing anything up, but if you do, you don't have to worry, because it's kind of like practice on the job, No one will know you wrote it, and you can move on from it. And there's a few things I've definitely written, like I said, that I don't think are the best, but I learned, and now I feel more confident having my name on the book and being here in front of all of you and talking about these things I've written. But it's got its pros and cons, like anything.
So you'd say it's good practice. You liked the experience of it, but you'd rather move on to bigger, better things.
Yeah, I would. I feel that after having done all these, I'm ready for that. I mean, some people like to ghostwrite their whole career. It can be, I think, comfortable if you're not comfortable in the spotlight to stay behind the scenes, and that's fine too. It's just really whatever your personality is and what you want from it.
If you ghostwrite, I guess you're kind of at least you have a buyer already. You don't have to worry about marketing the book. Somebody else is already doing that, so it's less stress in that respect.
Right. Well, you're talking about, so when you're hired as a ghostwriter, it's called a work for hire contract, which is actually the same type of thing I get with these. So I'm the author of these books, but these are owned by Hasbro and My Little Pony. So these aren't officially my product. You know, it would be
But
different
you
if
get paid. Do you get paid based on the number that sell, or do you just get paid a flat rate for writing it?
I don't really want to talk about
Okay,
that.
well, all right, fine.
But it's always different. So
I was just kind of making some assumptions based on like actual writers who write their own books. Like I was kind of curious
Yeah.
about how it would be different, but that's fine.
yeah, it's always different. He's asking about rates and stuff like that. Generally, with work for hire contracts, you don't get royalties, but it's hard to say. Every contract is different, so it depends. Does anyone else have questions? Oh, there's one.
If you do ghostwriting and you want to, you said this is something you put on your resume, but can you actually put it? Do you have a confidentiality agreement? Can you not list these things on your resume?
You're asking if you've ghostwritten something, can you list that you've written it, or is it confidential?
Right.
That also depends on the thing. In general, some of the ghostwriting contracts I've done, I've asked if I can provide samples for my resume, and you know, you get approval or you won't. I worked on one project that had like sort of a minor celebrity involved, and I'm not allowed to say anything about that. I'm not allowed to say that I did it. So, yeah. Once again, it depends on what they want. There's one.
Which of the pony books was your favorite to write?
Which of the pony books was my favorite to write? Well, I think the Rarity book was my favorite to write. This is fun. I'm like bringing them up as they come up. Just because she's so dramatic and it's so much fun, and you get to say darling and lots of flowery language and just make her paint on couches and you know all sorts of stuff like that. So I had a lot of fun with hers. But they've all been fun. It's actually incredible that I've got to explore each character so in depth. Because when I signed up for this, I only thought I was writing a Twilight Sparkle book, and now look, whoa. It's really great to, every time they say, oh, this is what you're doing next, this is your next character, and I'm like, okay, bring it on. And then I'll get to a point where I'll be like, wow, this character's really hard. Especially after the main 6 ones. The new ones are a little tougher because there's less to go on, but I like a challenge. And I enjoyed writing the Luna book, which is coming out in the fall. And yeah, they're all fun.
Come on up, come on.
Oh my gosh. Staring do. Hi. You look great.
What's your name? What's your question? It's okay.
Maybe he wants to whisper it in your ear, and then you can ask.
Close enough you can get a picture with you.
Oh, yes. Alright, come up here. He's so cute.
How can anyone say no to that, right?
No. Should I hold a Daring Do book? Do you want
Oh,
to?
sure. Want to do like all books as a background?
Alright, yeah, we'll come. Come on. Anyone want to follow that? Alright, back.
Do you ever have it where you're writing something, you just like come up with something, you just make yourself laugh?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Do you have like an example?
I mean, if you can't make yourself laugh at your own jokes, no one else is gonna laugh at them. I mean, that's what I try to think, at least. So yeah, I make myself laugh all the time. And I always read the book again when it gets published, because I have forgotten by then what I did. And usually when I read it then, I giggle too. So, at least I amuse myself. I hope it makes you guys laugh though. That's the real goal.
How much reading did you have to write these books? Did you have to come here and say, I'm going to write Pinkie Pie and this is the basis of the story, or how much input were you able to provide in the story?
She asked how much input I have and creative freedom with basically the plots of the stories. Really, they just come to me and say, Pinkie Pie next, what do you have? And then I'll come up with some ideas, and we'll go back and forth a little bit over it, and we'll choose one. And then I just run with it. They let me know when things don't fit or conflict or is not what they had in mind. And, then I'll go back in and revise it. But, I mean, they're not perfect, but I think I've got a good sense now by having done this many of them, what they're gonna like and what they don't like. But the real challenge is finding stories that haven't already been told with these ponies, because there are over 100 episodes. I don't even know how many comics. There are tons of comics, and then there are these books. So to keep having original stories is becoming harder and harder. But it's also a good challenge, so. But there have been many times where I've had an idea and then they'll say, no, that's in this episode, or no, this comic is doing that arc, and it's back to the drawing board. There's a question back there. You wanna come up here?
When's gonna be the next Daring Do episode?
The next Daring Do episode? I'm not sure about that. I actually do not know the answer. But I love Daring Do, so I hope it's soon. And I hope I get to write more Daring Do books. So, maybe more of those.
Anybody else have questions? No, down here. Come on, you got those burning questions. There you go.
You seem like you read a lot, so if you had like the magic treehouse that's here in your backyard and could transport yourself to any book or any story, where would you go?
Wow. First of all, I hope that happens. It's got to be something, fantasy or sci-fi, because I wouldn't want to waste that on just going to another city in present day. That'd be weird. Oh gosh. Well, I'm so bad at getting put on the spot like this. You'd think I'd be better with Q&A. Let's ask you that first. Where would you go?
That'd be the Excellent series.
Oh, is that what you're dressed as?
The typewriter.
Oh, I see now. I see the helmet. Probably Harry Potter, actually. When I was a kid and I read Harry Potter, I used to legitimately think I was going to get a Hogwarts letter in the mail. And up until I was 17, I still believed there was a chance, secretly. Not that I told anyone that, but I remember when I turned 17, because that's the oldest age at Hogwarts, I was really sad. I was like, it's not going to happen. So I would go to Hogwarts. recent favorite books is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Has anyone read that? Couple? It's really cool. It's, if you like retro video games, it's kind of about that, to put it simplistically. But it's a science fiction adventure where this guy, basically in this reality, they have a virtual world that everyone interacts in. And it's kind of like the Oculus sort of thing, but everyone goes to school in this virtual world, and they make friends, and it's basically like amped up internet, but the whole idea is that it's a quest, and this rich guy has placed these secret Easter eggs throughout the universe of the game, and whoever finds a certain, or finds the best one wins like his entire fortune. So it's all these people searching throughout all these virtual worlds for this egg to make them rich. I'm probably not doing it justice, but it's really cool. So I recommend that. Other favorite authors. I just read a series by Marissa Meyer. The first book is called Cinder. It's really cool. It's kind of a fairy tale themed series, but it's set in, well, Cinderella, Cinder, she's an android, or she's a, yeah, I think she's an android. Sorry, I'm totally blanking, I'm on the spot, but I sway to the science fiction, fantasy stuff for my own reading pleasure. I just read like some of the bestseller books too, not kids books, and I haven't been reading a lot of kids books lately. I should probably do more. I read Penny Royal Academy. That was lovely, by his book. This has been sponsored by Larson.
Any classic movies that have had an influence on your storytelling?
Yeah, for the Rarity book, I was trying to go with a little bit of an All About Eve thing. Has anyone seen that movie? It's sort of a lot of people, when this book came out, they said, were you doing Single White Pony or something like that, but which is basically like a creepy stalker trying to become you, which All About Eve is similar but less creepy. So I was trying to have a character that was slowly turning into Rarity until she was like freaked out, and that's what it is. And obviously Indiana Jones for Daring Do. Heavily influenced by Indiana Jones for obvious reasons. There's a lot of Indiana Jones references in these books that I wonder if people got. I hope so. Oh, yeah, I actually have a pony that was made for me, and I love the cutie mark on it. It's a book with a quill, because I write books. But I think it's really cute, and I put my OC in a book because I can do that, because it's mine. She's in this book. Her name is Plot Twist. Yeah, I know, that's fine. But in the book, she runs the Ponyville bookstore. They're having a big opening of one of the Daring Do books, and Rainbow Dash kind of messes up the whole display by doing a cool trick, and that's her only scene. But that's what I imagine her to be.
Her fanon is your canon.
Yeah, we were actually going to get shirts, the staff that was going to say that. My fanon is canon, and just wear them at conventions and see what you guys do. Over there.
Have you read any of the My Little Pony comics, or is that something outside of that?
I have read a lot of them. Actually, I'm kind of behind right now, just because I've been busy on personal writing projects, but yeah, I like the comics. I think they're really funny. I think what's cool is that each of the different My Little Pony products, like the show, the comics, these books, they all seem to have their own take on it, but they all match together really well. I like the comics have some more, I don't want to say adult humor because that makes it sound like it's, bad, but they have some more in jokes, in them, and I think that's really cool. And the art is awesome, and I love that they switch artists, and it's just a lot of different writers, and I think that's neat. So, thumbs up to the comics. Oh, still up there. Yes. Do I watch Doctor Who? I do watch Doctor Who, and I met Doctor Who once while he was in his Doctor Who outfit, David Tennant. I was working at the BBC for a while in London, and I was at lunch one day with one of the presenters on our show. I worked on a show called Blue Peter, which was a kids' TV show, still is. One of the longest running kids' TV shows in the world. And I was there having lunch with one of the presenters, and all of a sudden, we see them like wheeling the TARDIS out. And I was like, whoa, the TARDIS. And then my friend Kevin, who I was sitting with, was like, oh, hey, David. And David Tennant came over in his outfit and just sat down and hung out with us for like 30 minutes, but I was too nervous to say anything, so I just kind of sat there. But I was like, cool. And that's my story about Doctor Who.
So you just totally just fanned out and just got home.
I just got kind of nervous. I didn't know how to, I don't know. Because it's weird to meet someone who is famous, but even weirder to meet them while they're dressed as their character, because it's like, they're that person. I was like, it's the Doctor. Oh my gosh. But, yeah.
I don't think anyone here has ever had that feeling coming to a convention and meeting famous people ever.
And Andrea Lippman is actually a pony.
Well, I mean, there was Tara Strong dressed as Twilight Sparkle. I think really freaks people out. I love your GM Berrow cosplay, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I've dressed as AK Yearling before.
Yes.
But someone stole part of my costume, so that's not cool. Whoever has it, give it back. No, it wasn't here. It was at BronyCon. I don't know. I had the hat and the glasses and the cape and everything. It's good. I'm gonna try to do another cosplay soon though, because it's really fun. I don't know who to do though. Which character should I cosplay? Any ideas? No one? No one? Derpy? Oh, I actually can cross my eyes in a really crazy way. Do you guys want to see? Now I've gone to stupid human tricks. Okay. I'm only doing it once because it makes me really dizzy. Can't believe I just did that on the panel. Now I am really dizzy. Yeah.
So you're cosplaying as Derpy. That's
Yeah, so I
gonna be a
guess
thing.
it would be Derpy. Oh, anyone know what time it is? All right. Are there any more questions? Oh, right there.
What's your favorite thing about coming to conventions?
Favorite thing about coming to conventions? Obviously meeting lots of cool bronies. And yeah, I love how much fun everyone is having. And it's really nice to walk into a place where everyone's just really excited to be there. Because I live in New York City, Manhattan for you ponies. And, it can get a little in the episode, where they're like, "Rrr, rrr." Yeah, it's like that. So when you go somewhere else and everyone's like, hey, oh my gosh, what a hug, I don't know you, great. That's cool. So I like that a lot. It's all great.
Conventions give you an opportunity to hang out with other people who work on the show. Are there any particular moments where you've had just hanging out with actors or other writers that you would consider particularly entertaining for us to hear?
particular moments hanging out with the show staff at conventions that are very entertaining? Well, there's some that I can think of that I cannot say because totally inappropriate. But it's so much fun to see those guys. I mean, none of us really knew each other before conventions, so that's actually been a great perk for us. I don't know, just now we were in the autograph room and did you know, like, okay, this is crazy to me that there's a cat named Larson after Mitch, and it was like a cat that was found here last year or something, and now the cat there's like plushies of the cat, and Larson was signing the plushie of the cat.
I can tell you the story, the Rio Titus version if you want.
Yeah.
So someone found this cat at Trotcon here last year. Larson was going around signing everything and everyone that he could get his hands on.
Like he does.
Like he signed a pizza box in the trash and stuff. Someone found this cat and they were like, we found this cat. So Larson signed the cat. And then they were like, I'm going to name the cat Larson. And then they started posting pictures and that cat got its own Twitter feed. And
That
like,
poor cat.
That poor cat. So that is how that all started. It all started with Larson just signing everything that he could get his hands on.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that just cracks me up. Like jokes that turn into bigger jokes that become like an inside joke for everyone at the convention is awesome. I don't know. I have so many stories. Clearly I'm not all there today. I'm like not even on the break stuff, but well, it was pretty funny last weekend. This wasn't a pony convention, but last weekend I was at San Diego Comic-Con watching Megan with her cast scoot around the convention hall because she had one of those scooters, you know, where your leg is up because she had a huge cast on her leg. And she just looked so cool. She had like sunglasses on. It was hilarious. Little Scootaloo Megan. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything at all?
You said you're a huge fan of puns. Have you read any of the Xanax series by your family?
Not, no.
It's the entire magical world of all magic based on puns.
What?
Yes.
I shall read that. It also sounds like someone got inside my brain. A little creepy. Question?
Have you ever seen a baby harp?
A what?
Baby harp seal.
Have I ever seen a baby harp seal? No, but I wish I had.
Look them up. They're the most adorable thing in the universe.
Apparently they're the most adorable thing in the universe. I don't know, I met a sloth last weekend and that was really cute. Cuter than a sloth?
Cuter than a sloth.
All right. She says it's cuter than a sloth. All right, I guess I'm gonna end it on that. Thank you guys for coming. Hope you have fun at your convention. It's wonderful to meet all of you. Come by and say hi to me in the hall or the autograph room or yeah, buy the books. You know, I think that goes without saying now. And please come to the charity auction and bid on this beautiful Daring Do set. And yeah, thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Everybody, GM Berrow. If you don't already, follow her on Twitter at GM Berrow and buy her books.